Sometimes there is a popular place, historic site, but you never went there before until today. You want to talk about that in English. That's what today's episode is about on the Social English Podcast, English Repair Shop, 10,000 Little Statues. Let's go.
今日は英語修理店のエピソードです。英語を勉強している日本人が英語の間違いを正してくれないかと尋ねました。これを実際の会話英語で行ってみます。
Okay, we're live. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Social English Podcast. I am your host, Percy, back for more. This podcast is to help you learn how to speak real social English a little every single day. Today, I want to talk about where you should be before we start today's episode. What level of English you should be for today's episode. Cole's going to tell you about that right after this.
今日のソーシャルイングリッシュのエピソードは、中級または上級のスキルレベルで英語を勉強している人々を対象としています。初心者の方はゆっくりとエピソードを聞いてください。頑張れ。
Today's episode is for Japanese people or just English learners who are at intermediate, middle, or medium English skill level or above. So that means advanced or high level will find this episode interesting as well. So, what happens during these English Repair Shop episodes if you are new to my podcast? Well, we have 4 different parts. Cole will explain that to you right now.
すべての英語修理店のエピソードと同様に4つのパートがあります。パート1では英語を勉強している日本人が間違って言ったことを正確に聞くことができます。パート2では会話型のソーシャルイングリッシュスタイルで正しい英語を聞くことができます。パート3ではパーシーはあなたが同じ過ちを犯さないようにするために彼が重要だと考えるヒントをあなたに与えます。パート4でパーシーは正しい英語版を高速で自然な速度で言います。このようにしてネイティブの速度で英語を聞く練習をすることもできます。
Okay, so what that was again is quickly we will have 4 different parts to this episode. Part 1, the wrong English by the Japanese learner. Part 2, the correct English in a social English style, which is a conversational English, but with social English style. Part 3, you'll get hints. And part 4 will be fast English or native speed of the correct English. That way you can listen and practice your listening skills. So today we have another listener who asked me to help with their English. And today we're going to do that together. What they want to do is they want to talk about a popular place that they visited for the first time. So let's start with the wrong English in part 1. For today's episode, there are 5 sentences, okay? 5. So let's get started right away. with the wrong English, sentence by sentence. Please listen. Kite kudasai. 1. I visited Fukagawa Fudo in Tokyo. 2. I just stopped by there on the way to work, but it was amazing. 3. According to the home page, there are 10,000 little statues inside. 4. I missed to see them. I felt like I was in an old town in Edo period. 5. The experience was much better than I expected. Okay, that was the wrong English from the Japanese listener. That's the original English from them. Okay? Now, I want to say, before we continue, not every sentence is wrong today. So today's episode, there only are a few mistakes or a few ways I would change this, okay? So let's do it one more time. This time, just the English only and no numbered sentences. Okay, please listen. Kite kudasai. I visited Fukagawa Fudo in Tokyo. I just stopped by there on the way to work, but it was amazing. According to the homepage, there are 10,000 little statues inside. I missed to see them. I felt like I was in an old town in Edo period. The experience was much better than I expected. Okay, so that is the wrong English there that you can listen to. Let's go into part 2. Here's the correct English at a social English slow speed, okay? Please listen very closely. 1. I visited Fukagawa Fudo in Tokyo. 2. I stopped by there on the way to work and was surprised at how amazing it actually was. 3. The homepage said that there are 10,000 little statues inside, but I didn't get a chance to see any of them. 4. When I was there, I felt like I was in an old town from the Edo period. 5. The experience was much better than I expected. Okay, so that is the social English in slow speed. Okay? So let's go into this with more. Let's go into this with more more English, but this time, no numbers, just the English parts only, okay? Please listen. Kite kudasai. I visited Fukagawa Fudodo in Tokyo. I stopped by there on the way to work and was surprised at how amazing it actually was. The homepage said that there are 10,000 little statues inside, but I didn't get a chance to see any of them. When I was there, I felt like I was in an old town from the Edo period. The experience was much better than I expected. All right. That is it for part 2. Okay. Let's get started with part 3. Part 3 of today's episode, which is my tips for you, or my hints. I have 2 for you today. Tip 1. If you see or eat or experience something, if you do something and experience something that is better than you expected, use this phrase. I was surprised at how amazing it actually was. Tip 2. When we talk to each other in English, we use many expressive words or phrases. In social English, and when we speak to each other, we like to show emotions. If you missed something, a good phrase to use is didn't get a chance. I'll say that again. Didn't get a chance. So here is another example of how you can use didn't get a chance. Okay, please listen. I was late to the movie theater last night, so I didn't get a chance to see the movie trailers. In this sentence, you are saying you were late, and we know at movie theaters, the trailers start before the movies start. So this is why didn't get a chance to see the trailers is used. Let's go to part 4. Part 4 now. Natural, native speed, fast English, okay? Some people call it fast English. So please listen. I'm going to say the correct English in a natural, fast speed. Please listen. Kite kudasai. I visited Fukagawa Fudodo in Tokyo. I stopped by there on the way to work and was surprised at how amazing it actually was. The homepage said that there are 10,000 little statues inside, but I didn't get a chance to see any of them. When I was there, I felt like I was in an old town from the Edo period. The experience was much better than I expected. Okay? So that's it. Let's do that one more time. Okay? Please listen again. I visited Fukagawa Fudodo in Tokyo. I stopped by there on the way to work and was surprised at how amazing it actually was. The homepage said that there are 10,000 little statues inside, but I didn't get a chance to see any of them. When I was there, I felt like I was at an old town from the Edo period. The experience was much better than I expected.
このショーを気に入っていただけたら、5つ星のレビューをぜひお願いします。コメントは英語か日本語でお書きいただければ喜んで読ませていただきます。realsocialenglish.com にアクセスしてぜひ無料でダウンロードしてください。ほとんどの日本人の英語を勉強している人がやってしまいがちな7つの間違いとその正しい言い方。また、毎日英語を上達させるのに役立つ資料もたくさんあります。Apple Podcast、Google Podcast、Stitcher、そして今はパンドラでもポッドキャストを購読いただきます。支援者になっていただけませんか？私たちがこのショーを作るための支援として$5の寄付をお願いできませんか？今後のエピソードで感謝の気持ちをお伝えします。また、そこでしか利用できない新しいコンテンツも入手できます。patreon.com/socialenglish からご参加ください。ソーシャルメディアで私たちのポッドキャストを友達にシェアしたり、Twitter、Facebook、Instagram のフォローをお願いします。
Okay, everyone, that is going to do it for today's episode of the Social English Podcast. That's how you use a modern social English way to tell someone about how you visited a popular spot for the first time. Together, we helped a Japanese person that is learning English just like you. So it doesn't matter if you're in Japan, if you're in Korea, China, Thailand, South America, anywhere in the world. If you're listening to this podcast and you are learning English, you're just like the person who we helped today. So you should be happy because we helped correct their English together. My action item for you is I want you to practice English by using the phrase I talked about today. The phrase is, I didn't get a chance. So make up a story. Think of a time you didn't get a chance to do something. Didn't get a chance to eat something, to see something, and tell this story with one of your friends. If you are lucky, or you can, try to tell this story to a native English speaker that you know. Maybe a coworker, a friend, maybe a girlfriend or boyfriend, or just someone you meet and you want to have a conversation with them to practice your English. This is a good story to tell them, and it is a social English story, so it will show your personality and who you are to the English listener. Okay? So, with that, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on your favorite podcast player. Also, leave a message on Twitter about today's words. If there's a word you didn't understand, please let me know. Also, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts so that the Apple Podcast algorithm can show this podcast to more people. This is over 160 episodes. So I will continue and I won't stop making episodes for you guys, but please help me to on my end or on your end, please help by making a review and giving a thumbs up. If you don't like the show, if it wasn't a 5-star review for you, or just you didn't like what I'm doing, please let me know. I can definitely change this show and make it more better and help you as much as possible. The goal of this show, is so that you, the listener, can get better at actually speaking social English. Okay? So anything I can do to help you, as long as it's not crazy, I'm willing to do. Okay? So please leave a message on Twitter if you can't get a hold of me through any of the other social media, such as Instagram. Okay, so that's it for today's episode. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. See you in the next episode. Peace and love.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.